as a man, or just, as a person. And be this example to her that doesn't succumb to these feelings. That's why I'm even doing this interview. Like I used to get a lot of anxiety around like having a conversation like this, just in this kind of environment. And I want her to be able to look at me and be like, "Yo, my dad's doing this. He's the
shit,
man. He's
man.
cool. Yeah,
He is cool.
Oh, what's up? It's your boy MoreValueMalik. We in here, give me our value or give me our entertainment. So let's go straight into it. Zayn
Lightly
Malik opens up
talked
a
about
vibe.
it
Got it?
in times, and I just want to talk to you about like how anxiety affects your life. What has it done in terms of playing a part in your personal life, in your career? Like, just talk to me about what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, so I think we kind of touched on it a bit earlier, like when we were talking about, like the 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 nature of our job, like what we were doing in the band, and the situation being on stage in front of thousands of people. I think it's a really normal place to experience anxiety. Like you're gonna go and
Definitely, bro.
perform in front of,
Bro,
a lot of different people that you don't know
bro,
who they
imagine like
are.
100K people in a room,
And
bro.
it's
That's a
not a
lot of
natural
people, bro.
thing to do, in terms of everyday life. You don't just talk to thousands of people, so it was something that I had to, learn to adjust. Anxiety for me, I've learned is a feeling that now has a word, and I feel like for generations, human beings have felt it and not really even been able to put, the finger on what it is. But we overcome it, and certain things in life can change your perspective on them things. And I think for me, like, since I've had my daughter and since she was born, like, the main thing in my mind is like trying to be a good example to her, like in terms of, I can do things and I can achieve things and I can overcome things and you can do this too. And to let things like, a feeling stop you from doing that after having a child feels like a really small thing. Like I feel like I've like had to step up, as a man, or just, as a person. And be this example to her that doesn't succumb to these feelings. That's why I'm even doing this interview. Like I used to get a lot of anxiety around like having a conversation like this, just in this kind of environment. And I want her to be able to look at me and be like, "Yo, my dad's doing this. He's
Real
the
shit,
man. He's
man.
cool. Yeah,
He is cool.
he's a
Real
cool
shit,
guy.
man.
Yeah, so
He glazing,
that's
bro.
helped me a
That was
lot
crazy.
for sure.
That was
That is
glazed. That was crazy.
so fucking cool to obviously my mom's a psychologist, so I grew up and I think mental health was not a conversation for most families, and hopefully it will be. But like I've watched my mom talk to so many people and talk them through how to get over a panic attack, how to get over anxiety, how to not get over it, but like manage it, live with it, be okay to go about your everyday life. I think sometimes if you don't have anxiety, people look at people with anxiety like, just get the fuck over it. And I think it shows up in everyone's lives in such different ways. And
I don't think that's the way you can look at it. I think everybody's situation is individual. I think
Yes.
it takes an individual experience then to happen for somebody to overcome that too.
Totally. If you think about the first time you can recall in your life experiencing anxiety, did you experience anxiety prior to fame?
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
take me to like a moment in your life where you remember being like, wow, I didn't know that was anxiety, but now I do.
But I enjoyed it. That
What?
was the thing. Yeah, like I enjoyed being in that feeling. And they got to a certain point, I think, where it just became too much. Like it just was weighing on me. That feeling of like anticipation, and then getting the adrenaline, and then the after feeling of that. As a young kid, I loved it. Like I loved being on stage and I loved performing. It was like a free space for me to go and be a character, because it was, I was playing a role in some little school performance. It was nothing serious. When it became a thing that had a lot of weight behind it in terms of, people watching and stuff, then you're gonna have natural feelings of anxiety.
People staring at you, judging you, writing about you, following you, taking pictures of you. That's a lot.
Actually,
Can
yeah,
you
that is a
share
lot.
with
That's
us,
tough.
like, in the heyday of paparazzi and insanity, like, what would be something that would really trigger your anxiety in those days?
Just the idea of like like not being able to just do normal things, like to just go outside and like walk out onto the street, you know, like because where we lived it was kind of a bit crazy, and there was just people always there like waiting to take a photo and stuff, and obviously thinking about having a child and like raising her in that environment, it was just very claustrophobic for me. I didn't want her to have to
claustrophobic. That's
be
the
like
word, man.
exposed
Anxiety
to that
is
because
very
she didn't choose it,
claustrophobic,
you
man.
know, like it was a choice that I made. So I was like, we need to get out of here so that she can have some chance of like a normal childhood, you know, where there's not cameras flashing in her face constantly.
Hi, Daddy Gang. Thank you so much for watching this video.
She did not just call me daddy, she glazing. But yeah, man, that's some real shit, man. Anxiety is definitely like anxiety is claustrophobic, bro. That's really what it feels like, a body claustrophobic, like the air in your lung just kind of stay there and shit like that. I definitely understand where he's coming from. I can't wait to experience like that kind of heightened anxiety of like expectation of like being known and stuff like that. I can't wait in a good way because I'm curious on how I would handle it, you know, and I think that, you know, is definitely an experience to go through. I think eventually it does, once you get up to his level, it does get too much, bro. Like it gotta be too much, bro. You go outside, you getting snapped on, click, click, click everywhere, like, bruh, that gotta be like people don't even like pictures in the first place. So, you know, paparazzi is crazier. But yeah, bro. Thank you for watching. You know, I love you. MoreValueMalik. I hope y'all learned a lot, man. And if not learn, but listen and gain experience from what other people are experiencing and kind of add it to your arsenal, man. I think that's the best way to go about it. You know, this shit's unedited. You know, we raw about this shit. So I love all y'all. Feel me? Make sure I keep your head up, man. See you on the next video. Peace.